Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this wonderful lecture on 5 problems on Z parameters. Okay, in this lecture we are going to solve 5 problems on Z parameters. I have taken these problems from previous competitive exams and some problems from textbook. Okay, the first two problems I have taken from Ravish R. Singh, and third problem from GATE, and fourth and fifth problem I have taken from previous IES examination. Okay, so let us start with our lecture. So the PDF for the solution for these answers are provided in the description box. So later you can download it. So listen to the, don't write anything. Okay, listen to the lecture carefully. Okay, so let us start with our discussion. So this is our first problem, right? So in this problem, what they were asking, they had given some network. Okay, so which is a inductor RL network, and they were asking to find the Z parameters. So whenever there are given, whenever there is a inductance and capacitance in the network, what you have to drive? You have to first draw the transfer network. Means you have to convert this inductance and capacitance into Laplace domain, right? So see here. So what can we draw? We can draw the network into this 1 ohm, 1 ohm inductance. Okay, if there is an inductor of L Henry, so if you convert into Laplace domain, what can you write? You can write it to S into L. So this will be S into 1, right? Sorry. This will be S into 1. Okay, so this will be the voltage V1, V2, right? Here what we have to consider? We have to consider that both currents I1 and I2 are entering into the network, right? So as we know that in Z parameters, what we will write? We will write V1 and V2 as a function of I1 and I2. Okay, all right. So no need to open or short any terminals. Just to find out the value of V1 to V2 for this network, what I will do? I will just apply the KVL in these three loops. This is I1, this is I2, and I will consider this as the current I3. Okay, so what I will do, I will, by applying just KVL in these three loops, I can find the V1 and V2 as a function of I1 and I2. So see here. Okay, what is the first step here? Apply KVL in mesh 1. By applying the KVL in mesh 1, what can we write? V1 equal to, what is V1 equal to the voltage drop across this 1 ohm and this S, right? So what is the voltage drop across this 1 ohm? What are the current flowing in this through this 1 ohm? I1 is the current. So what can I write? 1 into I1, right, plus S into, what are the currents flowing in through this S? I1 minus I3. I1 minus I3. As I3 it is flowing in the opposite direction of I1. So what can we write at last? V1 equal to I1 into 1 plus, sorry, I1 into I1 into 1 plus S, right, plus I3 into minus S. I can write it as, okay, I'm considering this as equation 1, right? So equation 1, what we got? V1 equal to 1 into S plus 1 plus I3 into minus S, right? So similarly by applying in second mesh, what can I write? In second mesh, what we will get? This mesh, what is the voltage here? V2. It is a voltage drop across this S. What are the currents flowing through this S? I2 plus I3. Okay, both currents are flowing in the same direction. So what can I write? I2 plus I3. So what I will get? V2 equal to I2 into S plus I3 into S. So this is equation 2, right? Similarly, by applying KVL in the third mesh, what I will get? What I will do? I will add these voltages, okay, in this mesh, and I will equate it to 0. So what is the voltage drop across this S? S into I2 plus I3 plus S into I3. What are the currents? I3 minus I2 minus I1. Sorry, I3 minus I1 plus, what is the current flowing through this 1 ohm resistor? I3, okay, equal to 0. So right, what I will get if I simplify this equation further, I1 into minus S, right, plus I2 into S plus I3 into, see here, S plus 1, so 1 plus 2S equal to 0, right. So further, now what I have to do, I have to express V1 and V2 as a function of I1 and I2. So what I have to do, I have to remove this S3 term, okay. So what I will do here, S3 into 1 plus 2S equal to, I'm sending these two terms to the other side. So what I will get, I1 into S minus I2 into S, right. I3 equal to, at last what can I write I3? I3 as I1 into S by 1 plus 2S minus I2 into S by 1 plus 2S. This I am considering as equation 3. Now what I have to do, by substituting 3 in 1. So what I will get, what I am doing, I am removing this I3, I am writing I3 as a function as in terms of I1 and I2, so that I can remove my I3 and further I can find the value of Z11 and Z12. So V1 equal to I1 into S plus 1 plus minus S into, in place of I3 what I am writing, I1 S by 1 plus 2S minus I2 into S by 1 plus 2S, right. Is it clear? Okay. So which is equal to I1 equal to, I am taking I1 as common, I1 into, what can I write, what I will get here, S plus 1 minus S square by 1 plus 2S. Is it true? See here, S plus 1, I1 into S plus 1. If I bring this I1 to outside, what I will get, minus S into S square by minus S square by 1 plus 2S, right. So plus I2 into, what is the remaining term, minus S into minus S, what I will get, S square by 1 plus 2S. Is it true? Right. I1 into, what I will get, S plus 1 into 1 plus 2S, what I will get, 1 plus 2S, right, plus S plus 2S square minus S square by 1 plus 2S plus I2 into S square by 1 plus 2S. So which is equal to I1 into, what can I write, 1 plus 3S plus S square by 1 plus 2S plus I2 into S square by 1 plus 2S, right. So by comparing with the standard equation, what is the standard equation we know, V1 equal to I1 into Z11 plus I2 into Z12. By comparing with the standard equation, what is the value of Z11 here, Z11 equal to, right, this is the value of Z11, 1 plus 3S by S square by 1 plus 2S, this is Z12 which is equal to S square by 2S, S square plus 1 by 2S. So now tell me how you are going to find out the value of Z21 and Z22. Right, good, right. So by substituting 3 in 2, by substituting 3 into, we will get the value of Z12 and Z22. Okay, Z21 and Z22. See here, by substituting 3 into 3 in 1, we got the value of Z11 and Z12, right. By substituting 3 in 2, we will get the value of Z21 and Z22. Okay, so directly I am writing, you can check in the PDF, right. These are the values. Okay, these are the values. Okay, now tell me, just by looking of the figure, okay, tell me whether this network is a reciprocal network or not. Yes, this is a reciprocal network. How can I say this is a reciprocal network? Based just by looking of the figure? Okay, as the as the network are consisting of only reciprocal elements. Okay, here resistor is a reciprocal element, the inductor what I am using is a reciprocal element. So and all the resistor and the inductors what I am using in the network are the reciprocal network, so reciprocal elements. So can say directly by looking at the figure I can say this is a reciprocal network. Now tell me whether it is a symmetrical network or not. Yes, this is not a symmetrical network. Why? How can you say it is a it is not a symmetrical network? Okay, so cut the network into two halves. Cut the network into two halves. Whether the two halves are okay mirror image of each other. Okay, tell me whether these two halves are mirror image of each other. No, right? So now this network network is not a symmetrical network, or else by looking of the z1 z parameters I can say whether the network is a reciprocal network and symmetrical network or not. Okay, so what is the condition for reciprocity and symmetricity in z parameters? If z11 if sorry okay, so what is the condition? If z11 equal to z22, then you can say it is a symmetrical network. If z12 equal to z21, then it is a reciprocal network. Now by looking at the z parameters, tell me whether z11 and z22 are same. No, so it is not a symmetrical network. But z21 equal to z21, so it is a reciprocal network. Okay, so in the next question, see here, the next question they had given a network and they were asking to find out the open circuit impedance. We can say we can call it as a open circuit parameters or impedance parameters or else z parameters. Okay, right, they given a network, they were asking to find out the z parameters and determine whether the network is reciprocal network and symmetrical network or not. Okay, now tell me whether it is a reciprocal network. Just by looking at the figure, tell me whether it is a reciprocal network or not. Yes, this is a reciprocal network. Why you can say this is a reciprocal network? As we have used the reciprocal elements in the networks. Okay, all the elements what we have used are the reciprocal elements. You can say this is this network is a reciprocal network. And tell me whether it is a symmetrical network or not. No. Okay, so cut this into two halves. Cut this into two halves. Whether the two halves are these two halves are mirror image of each other. No. Okay, so you can say this is not a reciprocal network, this is not a this is not a symmetrical network. If you want to make this is a symmetrical network, okay, see this is a network they are given, right? Okay, this is 4 ohms, this is 2 ohms. If both these resistors are 1 ohm, okay, if you cut this into two halves, okay, so this is mirror image of this network. Okay, then you can say this is a symmetrical network. But in the question what the network they had provided, it is not a reciprocal network. It is not a reciprocal network. Okay, so we will check, we will find the z parameters, then we will by looking of the z parameters we will check whether the given elements given network is a reciprocal and a symmetrical network or not. Okay, so what is the first step? Okay, don't open or don't short any elements. Okay, just consider the currents and just consider the currents. See here, I will consider this as current I1, okay, this as current I2, this as current I3. Okay, this is current I3. Okay, just by looking at the figure, okay, apply the KVL in this through 3 meshes and by substituting the third equation in equation 1 and equation 2, you will get the z parameters. It's a simple problem. Okay, so I'm just writing the KVL equation. So by applying the KVL in the first loop, first mesh what I will get? V1 equal to voltage drop across this 1 ohm resistor and 2 ohm resistor. What is the voltage drop across this 1 ohm resistor? 1 into what are the currents flowing through this 1 ohm resistor? I1 minus I3. I1 minus I3. Why? I3 is flowing in the opposite direction. Plus what is the voltage drop across this 2 ohm resistor? 2 into what are the currents flowing through this 2 ohm resistor? I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2. Why? Both the currents are entering into in the same direction. Okay, so what I will get? I1 into 1. So I1 into 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2. 3. Okay, plus I2 into 2. Right? Minus I3. This is equation 1. Okay, equation 1. by applying the KVL in the second equation, what I will second loop mesh, what I will get? I2 equal to drop across this 3 ohms and 2 ohms. What is the drop across this 3 ohms? 3 into what are the currents flowing through this 3 ohms? I2 plus I3. Okay, both are current flowing in the same direction, plus 2 into I2 plus I1. So which is equal to 2 into I1. What can I write? 2 into I1 plus 5 into I2 plus 3 into I3. This is equation 2. So the third loop, if I apply 0 equal to drop across this 3 resistors and I will equal it to 0. 4 into what is the current flowing through this 4 ohm resistor? I3 plus 3 into currents. What are the currents? I2 plus I3, right? Plus 1 into I3 minus I1. So which is equal to, what can I write? 0 equal to minus I1 plus 3I2 plus 8I3. Okay, this, so further if you solve, I3 equal to, what can I write? I1 minus 3I2 divided by 8. Okay, so this is equation 3. Okay, so now substituting 3 in 1, what I will get? V1 equal to 3I1 plus 2I2 minus, okay, I3. In place of I3, what I will write? I1 by 8 minus 3I2 by 8. Okay, so which is equal to V1 equal to I1, I am taking common, what I will get? 3 minus 1 by 8, right? Plus I2 common, if you take common, I2 into 2 minus of minus plus 3 by 8. Okay, so further V1 equal to I1 into 24 minus 1, 23 by 8 plus I2 into 16 plus 3, 19 by 8. Okay, so by comparing with the standard equation, what can we write? What is this? V1. Okay, comparing the standard with the standard equation, V1 equal to, okay, I1 into Z11 plus I2 into Z12. So what is this? This is Z11, this is Z12. Okay, similarly, how we are going to find out the values of Z21 and Z22? How you are going to find? By substituting the equation 3 in equation 2. Okay, so what we are doing, just I am eliminating the I3. I am writing I3 in terms of I1 and I2, so that my equation V2, okay, so my V2 I will get as a function of I1 and I2, right? So see here, by substituting the value of 3 in 1, okay, by substituting the value of 3 in 1, I will get the values of Z12 and Z11 and Z12. Okay, so by substituting 3 in 2, I will get Z21 and Z22. So see here what we got. We got that we got from the Z parameters that Z11 is not equal to Z22, so it is not a symmetrical network, but Z12 equal to Z21, okay, so which is a reciprocal network. Is it okay? So in the first itself we have said that, okay, just by looking at the figure, okay, the network, we have said that the given network is not a symmetrical network but reciprocal network. The same answer we got right here. Okay, right. So tell me, okay, first by looking at the figure, tell me whether the given network is a reciprocal network. Yes, we are using the impedance symmetrical network or not? No. Okay, cut into two halves. It is not a mirror image. The two halves are not mirror image to each other, so it is not a symmetrical network. Okay, so this is a GATE 2005 question. So how you are going to solve this question? See, in GATE you will have less time to solve by theoretical method. It will take long time to get the answer. So for this type of questions, you need to know the shortcut. What is the shortcut? See here, if okay, if I am having a T network, okay, which are having the impedance of ZA, ZB and ZC, the Z parameters for these networks are ZA plus ZB, 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 ZB plus ZC. Okay, so ZP plus ZC. So how you got this value? Okay, so how this got this value? So just apply. Okay, I'm considering this as V1, this as V2, these are currents I1, I2. Okay, just by applying the KVL in these two measures, okay, you will get the values of Z parameters. See here, V1, what can I write? V1 equal to voltage drop across ZA and voltage drop across ZB. So what I will get? ZA plus into I1 plus, what are the currents flowing in ZB? I1 plus I2. So what can I write? I1 into ZA plus ZB, right? ZA plus ZB plus I2 into ZB. Okay, so compare with the standard equation. What is this? Z11, this is Z12, right? Similarly, by applying the KVL in the second mesh, this is in the first mesh, by applying the KVL in the second mesh, what I will get? V2 equal to voltage drop across this ZC and ZB. What is the current flowing in ZC? Okay, I2 plus ZB into, what are the currents flowing? I1 plus I2. Okay, so further if you solve, what can I write? I1 into ZB plus I2 into ZB plus ZC. Okay, so what is this? This is Z21, this is Z22. Okay, so if this the Z parameter, if this is the T network of consisting of ZA, ZB, ZC, then the Z parameters are ZA plus ZB, 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 ZB plus ZC. Okay, you need to know this shortcut. Okay, right now, so by comparing with the shortcut, what are the values they have given? ZA equal to 0, ZB equal to Z1, ZC equal to Z2. So what are the Z parameters for the given network? For the given network, the Z parameters are 0 plus Z1. So what I will get? Z1, Z1, B, ZB, Z1, ZB will be Z1, ZB plus ZC is Z1 plus Z2. Okay, is it clear? Right? So this is a shortcut. So I clearly mentioned in the answer. See here, right? Okay. Okay, this is a lattice network. Okay, this is a GATE IES 2003 question. They have given the values of ZA and ZB, and they were asking to find out the values of Z parameters. Okay, so it is one of the tricky question. Okay, lattice network will be tricky. Okay, so see here clearly. So redraw you have to redraw this circuit. Okay, without redrawing this circuit, you can't solve the network. Okay, so see here, I'm redrawing this circuit. Okay. Okay, so what I will do, see, consider if it is a point A. Okay, this point A, I'm considering, or it's 1 minute, we'll denote with the capital. Okay, point A, this is point B, C and D. Okay, I'm just redrawing the circuit. So what I will get here, A. Okay, between A and C, I'm applying V1 volts. This will be V2 volts. Okay, this current I1, this current is I2. Okay, so I'm redrawing this circuit. This point A. Okay, I will consider it as point C, considering it as B and D here. Okay, so see here, between A and B, what are the element? A, ZA is this is ZA. Okay, and between C and B, there is ZB. This is ZB. This is point B. Okay, again between A and D, what is the element? Sorry, we'll draw it clearly. Okay, this is point A, C, B, D. Okay, so between, okay, between A and B we have ZA. This is ZA. Okay, between B and C we have ZB. Okay, between A and D what we have? We have ZB. this is ZB. Okay, between C and D we have ZA. Okay, now what is the current flowing in from B? This is I2 current. Okay, this is plus minus V2. Okay, V2 is the voltage drop across B and D terminal. Okay, so see here, this is I1 current, this will be your V1 voltage. Okay, now see here, okay, from this equation, from this network, we need to find out the value of Z parameters. So what is the first step? Okay, in first step, what we will do, we will find the for this network, we will find the Z parameters by opening the port 2. If you open the port 2, what is the value of I2 current? You will get the I2 current as 0. Then if you get the I2 current as 0, then how the currents are dividing I1 current? I1 current is dividing into I1 by 2 here, I1 by 2 here. Why currents are dividing into I1 by 2 and I1 by 2? As that in both the branches, the impedance offering by the both branches are same. What is the voltage? What is the impedance offered by this branch? ZA plus ZB. What is the impedance offered by this branch? ZB plus ZA. So both branches are offering the same impedance. So the current will be divided into I1 by 2 and I1 by 2. So now what is the value of V1? V1, how you will find the value of V1? V1 equal to, so drop across this ZA and drop across ZB. So what is the drop across this ZA? ZA into what is the current flowing through this ZA? I1 by 2 plus ZB into what is the current flowing through ZB also? ZB also I1 by 2. Okay, so which is equal to, what can I write? I can write it as I1 into ZA plus ZB by 2. Okay, so what is this? V1 as a function of I1. Okay, V1 by I1 means what we will get? We will get it as Z11. Okay, what is Z11? Input impedance when the secondary port is open circuited. We have done the same thing, right? Similarly, what can we write in this loop? See here, this is plus minus V2. Okay, ZB, this is ZA. That's it, right? See here. Okay, so what is the current flowing here? I 1 by 2. Here also I 1 by 2. Okay, so just apply the KVL in this loop. What will be read? Minus V2 plus I1 by 2 into ZB plus ZA into minus I1 by 2. Okay, so what we will get? We can write it as okay, so we can write it as, okay, V2 equal to 0, right? Sorry. Okay, so we can write it as V2 equal to, I'm bringing V2 to other side, so what I will get? I1 by 2 into ZB minus ZA. Okay, now so further, so I can write the, if I bring the minus 2 to inside. Okay, so what I will get? I1 by this 2. So what is this? This is Z21. Okay, so by comparing with the standard equation, what is this? This is Z21. Similarly, how we are going to find out the values of Z12 and Z22, right? By, so what you have to do here in this equation, okay, so in this network, now make the I1 equal to 0, okay, and find the values of Z12 and Z2. Find V1 and V2 as a function of I2 current. Means the current I2 here, it is not 0 here. Now the current, how it will divide? Now it is having two paths. This path, how much it is offering? ZA plus ZB. This path is also offering ZA plus ZB. Okay, so now how current will divide? This current will divide into I2 by 2. This current also I2 by 2. Okay, so in the answer in the PDF I have clearly explained. Okay, see here, right? Now by making I1 equal to 0, the current I2 now it will divide into it will divide into I2 by 2 and I2 by 2. Okay, again by finding the V1. Now what is the value of V1? V1 is the voltage drop across this ZA and ZB. What is the voltage drop across this ZA? V1 equal to ZA into minus I2 by 2, right, plus ZB into I2 by 2. I2 by 2. Okay, so what can I write? V1 equal to I2 into ZB minus ZA by 2. What is this value? This value is Z12. Similarly, by expressing V2 as a function of I2, I can find the value of Z22. Okay, Z22. So these are the values. So by looking at the, we got a ZA plus ZB by 2, ZB minus ZA by 2, ZA plus ZB by 2, ZB minus ZA by 2. Okay, that given that a ZA, value of ZA is 3 plus 4J, okay, ZB is 3 minus 4J. Okay, just by applying the values, we can get the Z parameters. By looking at the Z parameters, I can write it as Z11 equal to Z22 and Z12 equal to Z21. Okay, so the given network is both reciprocal and symmetrical network. Okay, so in the last problem, okay, so this is the last problem they are given in IES 2009. So in that question, what they were asking, they had given that they had given the values of Z parameters. They had given the values of Z parameters, and they were asking to find out the values of Z1, Z2 and Z3. So now tell me, for a two-port network, for a T network, right? So what are the Z parameters? We know that the Z parameters are Z11. Just by looking at the figure, we can write the Z parameters Z1 plus Z3. What is this? Z3. This value is Z3. This value is Z2 plus Z3. Is it true? Right. Right. Now Z11, what they had given 40 means this value is 40. This value is how much? Z12 equal to Z21 equal to 30. So this value is 30 and this value is 50. Okay. So and what they were asking? They were asking to find the value of Z1, Z2 and Z3. Now tell me, what is the value of Z3? Z3 equal to how much here? Equal to 30. Now by substituting the value of Z3 here, Z3 equal to 30 means what is the value of Z1? Z1 you will get it as 10. Okay. Right. At last, what is the value of Z2? What is the value of Z3? We got 30. So by substituting the value of Z3 here 30, what is the value of Z2 here? You will get it as 20. Okay. So now what are the values of Z1, Z2, Z3? It is 10, 20 and 30. Right. So in the I have said that in the description the questions are the solutions are clearly mentioned in the description. Okay, you can download it. Okay, so clearly I have mentioned these values. Okay, now see here the two-port network, it is one of the easiest topic in the network analysis. Okay, so I'm going to give one problem in the for the homework to try to solve the value. Okay, right, wait a minute. Okay, this is IES 2011 question. Okay, they are given the network in this way. Okay, 2 Henry, 4 ohms, 1 farad. Okay, and they were asking to find out the value of a voltage transfer function. Voltage transfer function means what they were asking? They were asking the value of V2 divided by V1. Okay, so voltage transfer function they were asking. So find this value and comment in the comment box. Tell me the answer. We will see how many of you are doing the correct value. Okay, so this is the IES 2000 question. They had given the network and they were asking to find out the value of a voltage transfer function. Okay, so I hope my explanation is clear to you. If you are having any doubts, you may ask in the comment section. Okay, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want more topics, more videos on in this series, okay, 5 problems on series, please comment in the please comment your topic in the comment section. I will end here. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.